morning and welcome to Weidner Field here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Tonight, Switchbacks FC looks to keep it going after a huge win against San Antonio FC. They look to take down another Texas team in Rio Grande Valley FC. Glad you're with us. Ryan Kaufman alongside Roland Vargas. And Roland, there is only one team in the USL that can say they've beaten both Real Monarchs SLC and San Antonio FC, the top two teams in the USL Western Conference. That is the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and a big reason why is the USL saves leader at Moise Poati.
A huge reason why Moise Poati in the Switchbacks net has been absolutely fantastic. He was tremendous against San Antonio, but frankly, he's been wonderful the last couple of weeks for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, making key saves at key times, restarting the attack brilliantly well. Moise Poati is one of the best goalkeepers in the entire USL.
Well, Memo Rodriguez and his team-leading 3 goals were called up to Houston Dynamo midweek for the U.S. Open Cup. He is unavailable tonight, so who might step up in his place?
Well, Rio Grande Valley FC, the Toros, they still have a lot of talent on that roster. Ruben Luna's a fantastic player, and they've got a lot of good players in the middle. They've got a lot of size. They've got some speed as well out wide. So Rio Grande Valley, I don't think they'll be missing those players that got called up by the Dynamo for the U.S. Open Cup clash too much today.
Well, earlier, Roland, you got to catch up with head coach Steve Treachu and ask him what it's going to take tonight to keep things rolling.
Coach, a great win last week. How do you keep that momentum here today?
Yeah, that's the key, is keep the momentum going, and we got to get on top of these guys early here. I expect us to. So I'm looking for a good 3 points tonight, and they're a good team. They're organized, but we gotta play our game tonight. And I told the guys, let's take care of our game, and we should be fine.
Rio Grande have been a little bit inconsistent this season. What do you expect from them on the road?
We'll see. You know, I'm not sure who they've brought, because I know a lot of those guys played with Houston on Wednesday night. But either so, we just got to get going and play our game and get the tempo up and play high pressure.
Coach, good luck today.
Okay, thanks.
Tonight, Switchbacks FC looks to start July on a high note and also climb the Western Conference standings with 3 points tonight against Rio Grande Valley FC. Coming up next, the starting lineups and the opening kickoff next.
Prepare yourself. Something exciting is coming. Something that'll give you 5 big reasons to rethink your travel plans. It's
5 new nonstop flights from Colorado Springs.
This summer, you can fly nonstop to San Francisco, San Diego, Washington, D.C., and starting this fall, Fort Myers and Tampa, too. When you add in our new flights, that's more than 35 daily shortcuts to happiness. Plus, parking is simple, check-in is easy, and you've got a short drive home.
Want to start flying happier from Colorado Springs? Look before you book at flycos.com.
Hi guys, I'm Carrie Wilbanks, your host for Out West. We have a brand new season premiering July 20th right here on CET, and one of the many incredibly cool things we feature is right here at Snowbond, an indoor ski and snowboard experience. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to Weidner Field. We are moments away from kickoff between the Switchbacks and Rio Grande Valley FC. Ryan Kaufman back alongside Roland Vargas. And Roland, it took an hour and 20 minutes, but we're finally... Okay. Here's the national anthem. A great rendition of the national anthem here as we are moments away from Switchbacks FC and Rio Grande Valley FC kicking off. We had an hour and 20-minute lightning delay, but the fans have filed back into Weidner Field, and we're ready for a big matchup for the Switchbacks.
100% correct. Absolutely crazy weather here in Colorado Springs. We had a little bit of rain, a little bit of lightning, a little bit of hail, but here we are with the starting lineup, and it's back to the A team for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Aaron King will lead the line with Kevon Frater and Masta Kasher.
Filling out the rest of the lineup, you'll have Moise Puati in goal, the USL saves leader. In front of him, Connor Bevins, Sion McFarland, Josh Phillips, Jordan Burt. No Josh Suggs tonight due to yellow card accumulation. In the midfield, you have Eddie Prue, Tae-Song Kim, Ronnie Argueta, and then Frater, King, and Kasher up front. There's head coach Steve Treachew. As he said, keep the momentum going, right? Exactly that here today. Wants to come out and force the pace a little bit on Rio Grande Valley.
And it was a huge performance against San Antonio FC last week. Huge 3 points. Obviously, the first time at San Antonio we're defeated. So, as you said, the Switchbacks want to keep that going here into tonight against a strong Rio Grande Valley lineup who see some changes themselves.
Yeah, a few players brought up midweek for the Houston Dynamo for the U.S. Open Cup. They'll start with Borja and Goisha in goal. Kai Green, Leo Ayala, Taylor Hunter, and Yvonne Magalis in front of him in the back line. Georgino James, Jose Escalante, Robert Kasner, Todd Wharton, and up front, Ruben Luna. There's Junior Gonzalez, the head coach of Rio Grande Valley. It's been an inconsistent ride so far for the Toros, but they still have plenty of talent.
They have a ton of talent. Obviously, we talked about that connection with the Houston Dynamo that they have. So they do have a lot of MLS talent, do Rio Grande Valley FC. So I'm excited for the matchup here today. Both teams, obviously, they got their warm-ups in early, had to go back into the locker room, wait like the fans did. Terrible weather here in Colorado Springs, but it's actually turned into a beautiful evening. If anything, it will have slicked up the surface, maybe made it a little bit faster with some of that precipitation that came down.
And who might that benefit tonight?
Well, I think the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, obviously, they're used to playing here at home. They're used to playing here at Weidner Field.
And let's take a look now at our military family. You have Staff Sergeant Samuel Vasquez Ayala with Candace, Madison, Aiden, and Ivan. Good-looking family there, especially the dad.
Loving that face paint there. Congratulations to them, and we thank everybody for their military service, obviously here, especially in Colorado Springs.
Absolutely. As we take a look at the officials for today's game, Michael Radchuk, along with assistant referees Lauren Parliament and Devin Wagner and Justin Fillmore, is tonight's fourth official. There is our Tucanos ball of the game, and that thing's going to be flying around the field here tonight for Switchbacks FC and Rio Grande Valley FC.
It definitely will. We got a couple patches on the field that have been a little bit waterlogged, taking on some water, but just watching the players warm up, the pace on that field really is fast. It really is slick, so we'll see who that benefits here tonight, and it will be the Switchbacks who are going to kick it off. Eddie Prue here for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC as we're finally ready for some USL soccer here at Weidner Field.
So Switchbacks will be moving left to right across your screen here to begin the first half. And you mentioned Eddie Prue over the ball. Recently opened his Switchbacks ledger against Swope Park Rangers. Nice to get a guy like that involved in the goal scoring. As we are underway here at Weidner Field, ball sent down, headed away by the Toros. Toros on their road whites and Switchbacks FC in their home blacks. And now at the top of the 18, Kevon Frater was trying to give way for a shot, and that shot went in and was saved by Angoisha.
Early look at goal there for Eddie Prue. We see how the Switchbacks are lining up, obviously, with Josh Suggs, as you talked about, not being in the lineup. Jordan Burt, the Switchbacks right back, will move over to the left-hand side. Connor Bevins will come into Jordan Burt's spot at right back.
So Rio Grande Valley FC with the ball here for the first time. They'll send one through midfield. Is this play onside? It is not. And it will be a free kick for Switchbacks FC, but you could see what Rio Grande Valley is trying to do.
Playing on the line there, Rio Grande Valley. As we see here, the replay just a little bit offside. Referee assistance flag went immediately up. It was Sion McFarland there stepping forward to bring that offside call. Good job by the referee's assistant.
As the long kick is sent downfield, headed away by the Toros. Now back the other direction by Switchbacks FC. Finally controlled, and man, you could see the water come up as that ball was struck. Puati able to get it without much trouble, rolls it out to the far side. Another player that is not available tonight, Luke Vercoloni, the original Switchbacks player, came back from a long absence due to injury just to re-injure himself, and he's not available tonight for Steve Treachew.
Big loss, Luke Vercoloni in the heart of that midfield. Obviously, we know about his experience, but Tae-Song Kim coming in. I've been very impressed with Tae-Song Kim in recent weeks. He's been brought off the bench a couple times by head coach Steve Treachew for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Tae-Song Kim, very important player right next to Eddie Prue and Ronnie Argueta in the heart of the Switchbacks midfield.
Toros trying to work the ball up the field on the far side. Good pressure here by Switchbacks FC. You could see what Steve Treachew was telling you before the game, Roland, playing out in front of our eyes, putting the pressure on, not allowing Rio Grande Valley to get across midfield without a fight. As speaking of which, Ronnie Argueta getting tied up with a Toros player, and it will be a whistle against Rio Grande Valley.
Ruben Luna there just getting a little bit handsy with Ronnie Argueta. Both captains going shoulder to shoulder there. You can see Ronnie Argueta gets a ball side, Ruben Luna just pulls him back. Referee right on top of it once again.
So free kick coming up here for Switchbacks FC. And trying to sweep the state of Texas in the last couple of weeks. Obviously, huge victory over San Antonio last week. They're the only team in the USL that can say they've beaten Real Monarchs SLC and San Antonio FC, the top two teams in the Western Conference. Ball comes down. Luna trying to play it. Now it's taken in the midfield circle. Toros pass it out wide. Obviously looking up front for Luna, nothing there, so they'll pass it back towards the midfield once again. And now an errant pass taken away by Switchbacks FC, and now some contact from behind, another foul drawn by the Switchbacks.
And you can see already for Rio Grande Valley FC just how important Jorginho James, number 6, is in the heart of the midfield. You see Ronnie Argueta once again getting ball side there. Referee right on top of it. Switchbacks will restart this one in their own half.
Yeah, Todd Wharton was going after the ball there, but was shielded well by Ronnie Argueta. Now some discussion going on in the middle of the field here as Josh Phillips asking the referee what is going on.
Ronnie Argueta just wants to see the referee speed up play. Doesn't want this kind of disjointed play here early in the game. Referee just having a talk there with Wharton, just telling him that was his last foul here. Pretty early there for the referee to have that discussion, but on we play at Weidner Field.
Phillips sends this one into the box. It's headed away by Rio Grande Valley and now out of play. Switchback's going to get a throw in on the far side as Jordan Burt will go get in, throw this one in.
And what about the versatility for Jordan Burt? I mean, he's one of the best wing backs in the entire USL. He's made that right back position for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks his own. He bombs forward down the right wing. He's a fantastic supporter of the offense. And today, Steve Treachew, obviously, without Josh Suggs, without that experience, without that quality, he's going to call on Jordan Burt to push over there. Referee just getting in between here. Masta Kacher having some words with an RGV player right in front of the RGV FC bench. Referee right on top of it once again. It's been a bit of a disjointed start to this game, but as I was saying, Jordan Burt, referee really, Steve Treachew really trusts Jordan Burt. You can see Masta Kacher there, just a little bit of a push. Masta Kacher has a push back. Referee coming in to sort that out, just going to have a talk with both players here.
Yeah, that's Robert Kastner for Rio Grande Valley FC having words with Masta Kacher. You know, hour and 20-minute delay. The players are sitting in their dressing rooms and not allowed to come out because of the adverse weather. It'd make anyone a little bit tense.
It would, and you know the players, they really do go through a routine before these games. I mean, they eat at a certain time, they stretch at a certain time. They love that routine. They love knowing when that start is. So for both teams, obviously, having that incredibly long weather delay, dangerous weather delay with lightning and hail here in the Colorado Springs area really has changed both teams' preparations. Good touch there by Josh Phillips.
Yeah, Josh Phillips there on the back line trying to clear this one out, and now he'll gain full possession of the ball on the far side. Phillips looking to bomb it. Sends it across midfield, looking for Kacher on the far side. Masta tried to turn the corner, could not. Throw in coming here for the Toros.
You can see that ball just accelerate off the surface. The surface is taking on so much water. As soon as that ball comes down from a high height, it's almost going to skip. It's going to accelerate and really skid off this Weidner Field surface here. Good play from RGV, building from the back. Switchbacks perfectly content. 2 banks of 4 behind the ball. Eddie Prue pushing high from his midfield position. It's a very interchangeable midfield so far for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Eddie Prue, Tae-Song Kim, both holding right in front of Ronnie Argueta, who does his job in front of the back 4.
Rio Grande Valley FC now with the ball.
Fans of the USL follow Nike Soccer at NikeSoccer.com. Nike Soccer is a proud partner of the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC.
Ball sent in to Angoisha. He'll send this one a long way downfield. One goalkeeper sends it to another as Puati quickly rolls it out to the near side. Sion McFarland with it.
What a tremendous player he's been for the Switchbacks in the last couple weeks, Sion McFarland. Not just defensively, but restarting the attack as he did just there with that beautiful crossfield ball looking for Kevon Frater. It's been a tremendous last couple of weeks for Sion McFarland. He's really grown in that position next to Josh Phillips.
Had the decisive goal last week against San Antonio FC. Gave all the credit to Masta Cashier for sending the ball in. He just redirected it as we have a foul going against Switchbacks FC here.
Jordan Burt there called for the foul on Kastner. It was a nice catch by Kastner right in front of head coach Steve Trichu on the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC bench. Nice little touch there. Jordan Burt comes in. Just a little bit of a knee-to-knee there. Referee right on top of it.
So now Rio Grande Valley FC with the ball. They'll have it at midfield. And now a whistle. And this one out of play. Switchbacks FC will have it.
And it's obviously a big loss for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks to not have Josh Suggs in there, but Connor Bevins, we've seen Connor Bevins come on as a substitute. We've seen him play as a bit of a right midfielder so far in this 2017 USL season, so I'm happy to see Connor Bevins in there at right back. That's his favorite position. He does a lot of good work up and down the right-hand side for the Switchbacks FC.
As if the Switchbacks needed another Gonzaga Bulldog on the team joining Ronnie Argueta and Josh Phillips. Now long ball to the far side, again offside here for Rio Grande Valley FC. It did a lot of times in soccer, if it looks like somebody is where they shouldn't be, they probably are.
And the referee's assistant once again right on top of it. That was Kastner again just drifting offside. It's Josh Phillips, as we know, leading that back line for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. The players move up on his signal. They took a giant step up. You can see there Jordan Burt stepped up. Kastner looking back just a little bit offside. Well called by the referee's assistant.
Ball headed back by Switchbacks FC, and this one somehow staying in play. Rio Grande Valley starting the other direction. Don't know how that ball stayed in play on the end line, as now Rio Grande Valley with it. Ronnie Argueta getting in there, trying to take the ball away. Instead, whistle and quick restart for the Toros, and now a pass wide and out of play.
You can see how far forward Escalante was pushed on the left-hand side there. That ball really taken off the surface. No chance for Escalante to run that one down.
So a throw in here for Switchbacks FC. Fans, make sure you tune in for USL's weekly show on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85, on Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's 7 p.m. Mountain Time for the latest news and information from around the league. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
7 p.m. Mountain, was that too Hawaiian?
I don't know.
I thought you would, Ryan. I thought you would.
Toros with it here, still no score. Into the 11th minute now for Switchbacks FC.
You can see the constant shuffling in the center of the park for the Switchbacks. It's Ronnie Argueta who will not move from that holding position, but both Eddie Prue and Tae-Song Kim have license to go forward and support the attack whenever they feel necessary.
Masta Cashier with the ball on the far side. He'll send this one in, cleared out by a defender for Rio Grande. Now Bevins coming up. He'll play it to the near side for Aaron King. King plays it back to Bevins. Bevins looking for the cross, and it was kicked out by Rio Grande Valley, but we'll have our first corner kick of the evening.
And that's why Connor Bevins is on the field, just how dangerous he is going forward from that right back position. Tremendous link-up play with Aaron King. It was a delightful touch from Aaron King to play Bevins in there. Well defended in the end by Rio Grande Valley FC as we see our first corner kick of the game. Masta Cashier will come across to take this. Obviously, Josh Suggs on usual corner kick duty, but Masta Cashier in for him tonight, so it'll be Cashier to whip this ball in. Both center backs for the Switchbacks FC forward, as the referee is just going to bring a halt to play here, ask for a stop with some pushing and shoving. As we know, good luck with that. That's always going to happen in the box, but both Phillips and Sion McFarland are forward for this one.
It was a free kick that scored the Switchbacks' lone goal last week against San Antonio, and it was this man who took it. Here comes Cashier, sends it far post, headed away, and the Switchbacks can't convert on their first corner kick. Josh Phillips was there, but the header went a little bit wide. Still no score.
What a leap from Josh Phillips, number 2 for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. We know just how dangerous he is there. Look at him get up for this one. That's a fantastic leap. Just unable to direct that one on goal. Might have come off his shoulder a little bit after his head there. Great leap from Josh Phillips. He's so dangerous from those offensive set pieces.
Now the ball taken away on the far side by Switchbacks FC, and they're going to be able to start back the other way. Sion McFarland will pass it over. And then back to Puati, the USL saves leader. Went toe-to-toe last week with the USL clean sheets leader, and it was the saves leader coming out on top in that one. Now Prue plays this one down to Cashier. Cashier gonna look to step over, send it in, but it's kicked away again, and again we will have a corner kick.
Nifty footwork there by Masta Cashier. Ayala played that one out. He kept his position well, did Ayala. Good play from Masta Cashier. Switchbacks have a second bite at the corner kick here. Once again, McFarland, Phillips, Burt all forward for this one. Watch out for Aaron King and Eddie Prue as well. A lot of height, a lot of danger in the center of the box for the Switchbacks FC.
Cashier will line this one up. Sends it in again, going far post, this time headed by Rio Grande, and they will head it out even further, and it will result in a Switchbacks throw-in.
Well defended there by the Toros. You were talking about Moise Puati in the Switchbacks net. Saw Moise Puati making the top plays on Turkish version of SportsCenter last week with some of his saves. So going worldwide is Moise Puati, the young Cameroonian. So fantastic to see the recognition there for the Switchbacks number 1.
Is that part of your programming package?
Hey, I can't find that one on the DirecTV currently. I don't have the Turkish SportsCenter yet, but I'm sure somewhere we'll be able to get that one. But it was just great to see, honestly, Moise Puati there going worldwide with his saves.
Now Rio Grande Valley with it. They'll send it up the far side. Not much doing so far. The only times they've had good looks at Moise Puati, the whistle has been blown for offsides, and now Switchbacks FC able to take it away. With it in the middle of the field is Aaron King. He'll pass it back to Sion McFarland. McFarland winds up, sends it over to the far side. Prue collects. He'll send this one into the box. Here's Frater, and just over Kavan's head and out of play. Very nearly broke the seal on this one.
Just over Kavan Frater's head. It was a delightful cross in there. Jordan Burt combining with Eddie Prue. Eddie Prue losing that run, overlapping run of Jordan Burt to whip that one in with his right foot, and Kavan Frater just inches over his head. It was a fantastic run there from Frater. But the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC really are bossing everything. Rio Grande Valley haven't been able to string 2 or 3 passes together yet in the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC half. So the Switchbacks really pushing up, really pressing the Toros, and really dominating play here in the first 15 minutes.
Goal kick sent downfield, and now a Rio Grande Valley player jumps over Connor Bevins, and that's why Bevins is upset right now, because he was just standing there, and you had the player for Rio Grande Valley, that was Jose Escalante, that just jumped onto his back. And Bevins basically saying, I didn't do anything wrong.
Not much that Bevins could do here. He had eyes for the ball. He was looking for a player, went right over his back there. Unlucky for Connor Bevins. Referee blows the whistle. And now let's see if Rio Grande can get something going here. They have a chance to put the Switchbacks under a little bit of pressure, which they've been desperately unable to do here in the first half an hour. And they're going to go backwards. Switchbacks will just use that as an impetus to push up their back line as far as possible on the advice of Josh Phillips.
We have eclipsed the 15-minute mark here in the first half. Still no score. Switchbacks looking for their first victory in club history against Rio Grande Valley FC. If you talk to the players, Roland and Steve Trichu, not happy at all with the way April's meeting shook out for the Switchbacks.
They really felt like they deserved that win. They were happy to be able to go down to Edinburgh, Texas in April. We know just how oppressive it can be with the heat down there on the border with Mexico at this time of year. So the Switchbacks were obviously happy to go down there in April, but they were unhappy to leave with the draw. But Steve Trichu has talked so many times to you and me during the season about winning the series and to be able to get that point on the road and hopefully get 3 points from a Switchbacks perspective here at Weidner Field. Obviously they would win the series, so the Switchbacks desperate to do that.
Now the Toros in the Switchbacks half of the field. Ayala with it. Now King closes in. Pass down to Escalante. He'll flip it into the box. Good defending there by Sion McFarland. And now a lot of contact. Referee letting it go. Switchbacks start back the other way. And now Frater gets pulled down at midfield. That was McGallis that was there and pulled Kevon Frater down. And now you have a player for Rio Grande Valley, James, who wouldn't let the restart happen, and he's going to get a yellow.
I feel that's a bit unlucky there on Jorginho James. Referee was right on top of it. Switchbacks wanted to take that ball early, take that free kick early. Jorginho James blocked that one. Referee gives him a yellow card. It's a difficult position for Jorginho James to be in. Obviously, the rest of this field, the rest of this game, he is the defensive midfielder, so that's going to be difficult playing with that Hanson Hot Springs yellow card for Jorginho James. Just to correct something I said earlier, the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC did lose to Rio Grande Valley in Edinburgh, Texas. I have to thank my good friend Joel Huber, the Switchbacks communication manager, for bringing that to my attention. I do apologize, but as we saw there on the replay, Jorginho James there picking up that yellow card. It's going to be a difficult rest of the game now, playing in that holding defensive midfield position for the Brazilian there to deal with that yellow card.
Fourth yellow card of the season for James. And now the Switchbacks will get an unimpeded restart.
Look for that far post. Ball to go over to Jordan Burt, head this ball across.
McFarland sends this one in, and it looked like Jordan Burt stumbled there. Obviously a wet surface here at Weidner Field, and it impeded his progress, unable to even get a touch on the ball.
Just a little bit too far for Jordan Burt. That's what the Switchbacks like to do from those kind of positions. Look for that far post, then get that header right across goal. Good play once again from the back from the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros. You can see the Switchbacks just dropping off, not putting them under too much pressure until the Toros get that ball close to the Switchbacks half. Ronnie Argueta trying to push his teammates up as far forward as he can.
Fans for all things USL soccer, make sure you log on to uslsoccer.com as a hard tackle on the far side. And there will be some more discussion, and James right in the middle of it again.
It was Ronnie Argueta coming in there. I think Ronnie Argueta's claiming, and I think correctly so, that he won that ball. Referee just in front of the Switchbacks bench. You could see Steve Tritchard took a step off that bench and then thought better of it, sat back down there, didn't want to have any words with the referee, but Jorginho James right in the middle of it once again for the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros.
Off the restart, Ayala with it at midfield. Gets the return pass back. All the chances coming for the home side here as Park breaks up that pass. It goes right to Angoitia. He'll send this one downfield, near side. Finds Escalante, but
he's offside again.
Yep.
And that was once again Josh Phillips. We can see here from our commentary position, it's Josh Phillips. Every single defender turns around, looks at number 2 for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, looks at where number 2 is, and then makes their line off of that. Josh Phillips stepped up. The rest of the defense did, and Escalante just a little bit offside.
Timing right on for Switchbacks FC, not so much for Rio Grande Valley. As now the Toros with it. A lot of pressure being put on, and now a takeaway here. Ronnie Argueta has it. Argueta looking for some space, plays it back to Prue. Eddie Prue now sends it to the far side for Phillips. Josh Phillips looking to send it downfield. Just taps it forward. Now a great touch. Chance for a cross here, and that one cleared well out of play by Jordan Burt.
It was a fantastic touch from Mastakacher. Delightful with the outside of his foot to play that ball through to Jordan Burt. Burt trying to use his left foot. Obviously an unfamiliar position for Jordan Burt on the left-hand side, trying to whip that ball in. Just got a little bit too much of it, but great combination play down that far side. Josh Phillips, Mastakacher, and Jordan Burt.
James trying to pass it near side for Escalante, taken away by Aaron King. King to Argueta, couple of Toros on him. Gets the ball taken away now. And here might be something for Rio Grande Valley. They play it to the near side for Escalante. Escalante holds, passes it back to James. Kim getting in there, trying to take the ball away, could not. And now sent downfield by the Toros, and it will be out of play.
You can watch the Rio Grande Valley Toros working that ball side to side. They're getting absolutely nothing going down the heart of the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. That's because of Ronnie Argueta, the defensive work of him. Also Eddie Prue, Tae-Song Kim combining with Ronnie Argueta in the center of the midfield. That's forcing the Toros out wide. And every time they do look out wide, the Switchbacks step up, pull them offside, or we see a pass going a little bit stray there. Ruben Luna, the striker that we talked about in the pregame for the Toros, becoming very isolated for Rio Grande Valley.
Their leading goal scorer, Memo Rodriguez, is up north on I-25 in Commerce City, playing for the Houston Dynamo as they take on the Colorado Rapids tonight. Luna figures to be the player that Rio Grande Valley will be looking to score goals. He has 2 on the season. And now ball sent in by McFarland again. This time Angoisha skies to pull that one down.
Good goalkeeping, good feet. Goalkeeper watched it the whole way, made a clean catch. Difficult with the ball being so wet in these kind of conditions here at Weidner Field, but that was good goalkeeping there by Angoisha.
Another ball out of play, but it's going to go to the Toros. Be part of the Switchbacks FC Nation and like us on Facebook. Ayala with it on the near side. Aaron King lurking. Now ball swung over to the far side for the Toros. Looking for something positive offensively here in the first half. They haven't gotten much. Escalante plays it back to Ayala. Back to Escalante on the near side. He'll send this one to the middle, looking for Luna. It came hard off of his foot. Argueta able to take it away, and here's Ronnie with the ball. He'll pass this one up to the middle. Masta Cashier on the run. Cashier can really fly. He'll take a shot. That one hit off the side of a Toro's face. And now Rio Grande Valley FC able to move it back the other direction.
It's a great break forward from Masta Cashier. Used that run from Aaron King. Aaron King peeled out wide, and Masta Cashier used that space that was created by that run to take that shot. It was great play from Masta Cashier.
The moisture still, as you can see, coming up from the field.
It's an absolute deluge. Can't explain it to the ladies and gentlemen at home. Just what we had here in Colorado Springs. It was just biblical weather here. Hail, sideways rain, wind, lightning, cloud to cloud lightning for a good portion of an hour before this game here at Weidner Field. So the surface actually has held up pretty well considering just the amount of water and precipitation that it did take on.
And in the column of That's So Colorado, one big lightning strike and then the skies opened up. It was sunny and we got back on track for soccer. Here's Escalante down to the corner. He's going to send in a cross. Nobody home, though. This one rolling to the far side. It's going to go out of play. And a quick throw in here from Rio Grande Valley FC. Now headed by McFarland. Another header as the Switchbacks send it further downfield. Cashier trying to get in there and get possession. Does not. And now Steve Treachu is not happy. He thought the ball clearly went off of the Toros. And he's saying it was right here. I know I know what happened.
Yep, right in front of Steve Treachu and the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC coaching staff there. That was one of the best attacks just before that for the Rio Grande Valley Toros. It seems like they're having their best work going forward through Escalante, number 23, down the left-hand side for the Toros. But every time they try to go over to the right-hand side, Kastner, he's very well marked out of the game by Jordan Burt.
Now Argueta fouls Wharton, and then Wharton gives him a gentle push.
Ronnie Argueta doesn't want any part of that. He's just going to walk away there. You see the professionalism there from Ronnie Argueta. He's not going to get involved with that kind of handbags. Just not his business there getting involved with Wharton there. Ronnie Argueta there with the foul. Referee right on top of it. Ronnie Argueta goes after the ball. He's just going to go right back into his position. No need to respond to that little shove.
These are two teams that are in different spots in the standings. Rio Grande Valley trying to get into the postseason picture, whereas Switchbacks FC are trying to get into the top 4, but because of how congested the Western Conference is, a win by Rio Grande Valley on the road puts them right back in the thick of things. So you can see that manifesting itself on the field in terms of the emotion that these two teams are showing.
Yeah, with the San Antonio FC and the Real Monarchs of Salt Lake City really making themselves the class of the Western Conference. There are so many teams bunched up, as we see another whistle here and a flag for offside by the assistant referee, but there are so many teams bunched up from that 2 spot all the way down that a win can vault you sometimes from 7th up to 3rd, and a loss can take you from 3rd down to 7th. So obviously, as you said, both of these teams desperate for the 3 points, and the Switchbacks know just how important their home field advantage here is at Weidner Field.
Yeah, 3 points for Rio Grande Valley FC moves them into a tie for 7th. 3 points for Switchbacks FC puts them from virtually 5th all the way up to 3rd.
And of course, the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, if we are to assume that the Real Monarchs and San Antonio FC will continue their form at the top, they won't have any problems potentially meeting those 2 teams in the playoffs. They know, as you said, just how successful they've been this season against both the Real Monarchs and San Antonio FC.
Switchbacks with it. Kim in the middle of the field. He'll bomb this one down, and Goisha is going to play this one on the end line. Might have been able to just let it go out for a goal kick, and the ball eventually goes out of play. Masta Kasher, quick throw in here. Ball at the top. Here's a shot in, and that one just wide. Deep strike there for Kim, and this will result in a goal kick.
And that was just wide. You could see the goalkeeper there. He was statuesque. Tae-Song Kim with his head on his hands. Fantastic strike. There wasn't much on for Tae-Song Kim there other to have a blast at goal. He whipped this one with his right foot. That just tickles the outside of the post. Goes whipping into the G.E. Johnson sign there right next to the post. Unlucky for Tae-Song Kim. Goalkeeper had no chance.
That close to his first goal of the season. Instead, we remain scoreless.
Such an important player. Sorry to cut you off, but such an important player for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Tae-Song Kim, he supports the attack. He knows how to defend right next to Ronnie Argueta. He's a very important player in the center of that midfield for the Switchbacks, right next to Eddie Prue, who has been playing fantastically well the last couple weeks himself.
Rio Grande Valley trying to send one along the far side. This play looks onside, so the Toros have something here if reinforcements can come. Kastner sends this one in, played out, and looks like we're going to have the first corner of the evening for the Toros.
It was good hold-up play by Kastner. We're going to see our first accelerated Wealth corner kick on the far side of the field. It was well defended by Sion McFarland in the end, but Kastner did a good job to hold up that ball. Escalante is going to come across, whip this one in with his left foot. Both center backs for Rio Grande Valley FC. Toros forward for this one.
So Escalante looking for a new ball to play with here. See how the Switchbacks hold up on their defending their first corner kick of the evening. Escalante picking out a spot. Hesitates, then comes back. Now he'll send it in. This one curling towards the far post, and this one going to bounce out of the box, although Toro's still with it. They'll send it back in. Puati able to punch it out. Switchbacks not out of the danger yet, although the Toros help him there with a backwards pass.
It was great goalkeeping from Moise Puati. Early shout there, came out with his left hand. Big punch there from Puati. Had 2 Rio Grande Valley FC players all over him. It was a strong punch to clear the danger there for the Switchbacks.
Now Escalante on the far side of the field now after taking the corner kick and a whistle, and I think that's going to be a foul on Escalante. Switchbacks FC will have a free kick.
Just stood on the Achilles of Jordan Burt there. Jordan Burt's just going to sort his shoe out, and the Switchbacks will be ready to go. But it's good to see Rio Grande Valley attacking with some vigor. Finally, it took them almost half an hour to really get some passes together inside the Switchbacks box. But good play from Rio Grande Valley FC. Toros winning that corner, putting Puati under some pressure. But fantastic goalkeeping, as always, by the Switchbacks number 1.
Fans, make sure you join us for the next home match July 8th versus Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2. And the Switchbacks here at Weidner Field are giving away the 4th poster in their fantastic poster series. You link all those up and they make a neat little. SwitchbacksFC.com is the place to get tickets.
That should be a good game. It's been a good series with the Whitecaps the last couple of years, so I'm excited to see the Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 come down here to Weidner Field, and hopefully the weather will stay away, unlike before this game. But that should be a good game next weekend.
Kevon Frater wins a ball, strikes it with the left foot, but Ngosha dives to make the save. That was brilliant there from Ngosha to keep the game scoreless. What a revelation Frater has been over the last few weeks for Switchbacks FC as we take a look now at the strike from Frater.
And Ngosha saw that one late. It was Aaron King who screened the goalkeeper, took a bounce in front of him, well down was the goalkeeper. Good hands on that surface. But talking about Kevon Frater, as you were, he's been fantastic. He's played out on the right-hand side as he is right now with Aaron King down the middle. He's led the line for the Switchbacks FC. He's a fantastic player with just an explosive first touch. Kevon Frater, he's such an athletic player and a great player for the Switchbacks to have up front.
You see there the shot differential just 3-1, despite anybody watching seeing that the Switchbacks are pushing the pace of play and they look like they're creating more chances, but only just by a couple as Rio Grande Valley takes possession. James will send it down to Escalante, has a step on his defender, able to send this one in, headed out by Switchbacks FC. James back with it, passes it to himself, now to the near side for Kastner. Kastner will pass it back to James. James looking to reverse fields to the far side, and now this one going to bounce off of a Switchbacks defender. Was it a handball? That's what Rio Grande Valley FC is arguing, but to no avail. This will end up being a corner kick, though.
And it was Escalante popping up on the right side. Kastner's moved over to the left, so a little bit of a switch from Rio Grande Valley FC. It was Jordan Burt marshalling that ball out. Ball played right off the stomach of Jordan Burt there. No need, no handball whatsoever there from Jordan Burt. His hands are by his side, right off of the belly of Jordan Burt.
Jordan Burt there with the eyebrow raised there at that play. Very nearly a handball, but very nearly doesn't cut it here as Escalante looking for a ball to send in for an accelerated wealth corner kick.
Our second accelerated wealth corner kick of the game. Rio Grande Valley FC really starting to come into this game, playing a lot better here as we tick past the half-hour mark. They started a little bit slow, but they're really starting to turn the pace, get some good attacks going.
Played short here from Escalante. He gets it back, sends it far post, headed by Rio Grande Valley, but right there is Moise Puati.
Puati, fantastic once again, down early, claimed that ball, didn't give up a rebound. Difficult surface, took a skip right in front of him, but we could hear Moise Puati all the way up here in the Colorado Springs Switchbacks booth. Comes out here, headed right back across his goal, claims that one. Brave claim there right at the feet of Jorginho James. Well done, Moise Puati.
Taylor Hunter there was looking for a teammate on the header rather than trying to put it in himself, as Puati plays it up to Argueta. Ronnie sends this one to the far side. Peru going to give it to Cashier. Now back to Phillips. Josh Phillips trying to send it down. Chance here perhaps for Switchbacks FC, if not for some good defense by Rio Grande Valley. Toro's going to start quickly back the other direction and won't be able to keep it in on the far side. Fans, make sure you follow Switchbacks FC on Instagram. You on Instagram, Roland?
I am not on Instagram. You, Ryan?
No, I'm not. I'm not worth taking a bunch of pictures of.
Okay, fair enough.
Switchbacks FC with it just across midfield. Crossfield pass here. And now taken away by Rio Grande Valley. Ayala passes it to Kastner. Kastner slips and falls on the wet surface. Still able to get it to Bird, who will pass back to Kastner. Kastner working one-on-one with McFarland, trying to step over him, and Sion was up to the challenge. He'll take it away. Send this one across midfield to his fellow Jamaican Kevon Frater. Frater now turning upfield. Man, he can really move. Passes out to the far side. Now a chance for Switchbacks FC. It was deflected and ended up going shy of the near post. Masta Cashier got a foot on it. And this will be another corner kick. Sorry.
And that's where Masakasher is at his most dangerous, cutting in on that right foot from his left side. He just baits the defender here, waits for the defender to step in. Defender knocks it out for our first Budweiser corner kick of the game on the far side of the field. And it will be Masakasher who's going to go across and take this one. Once again, Josh Phillips, Jordan Burt, Sion McFarland all forward.
See if the other side of the field does some good for Masakasher. Again, Switchbacks looking to take the lead. Cashier sends this one in and headed out. And it'll roll out for a throw-in, and it will be Rio Grande Valley FC. So it was a switchback that got his head on it.
Once again, it was Josh Phillips coming forward from that center back position there. Nice leap. He had two players on him. Rio Grande Valley certainly know the danger of Josh Phillips from set pieces. Josh Phillips' header just going a little bit wide and eventually out for a throw-in for the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros.
Around 10 minutes left here in what has turned out to be an up and down first half. Early in the game, it was Switchbacks FC putting it to Rio Grande Valley, but now the Toros have started to even things up quite a bit, and it's made for a very entertaining first 45 minutes.
And when they switched Escalante with Kastner from the left side to the right side, Kastner moving over to the left, Escalante over to the right, Rio Grande Valley FC really have had some more offensive opportunities going forward. Both of those players able to cut in on their favorite foots from those sides. So now Escalante's drifted back out to the left-hand side, Kastner to the right. So that's something that the Switchbacks defense is going to have to pay attention to.
Great header by Ronnie Argueta, starting to play back the other direction. It'll be tapped out by the Toros. Switchbacks with a throw-in down in the corner. And it'll be Jordan Burt that's going to throw this one in. Throw goes to Cashier. Cashier on Kastner. I knew it was going to happen at some point tonight. Cashier over to Prue. Prue up to the top of the 18. Now gets the pass back. He'll send it to an open spot on the field near side. Sion McFarland runs it down. McFarland to Frater. Kavan dribbles to the side, now sends this one into the box, headed away by Rio Grande Valley. Now Kim trying to track it down and pass it forward.
So congested in the middle of the field for Rio Grande Valley FC Toros, really trying to take that away from the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, and that's why you're seeing players like Connor Bevins on the right-hand side, Jordan Burt on the left, pushing as far forward as he can, as we see a Ronnie Argueta fan in the audience here at Weidner Field.
Quite a bit of them here in Colorado Springs. The captain, first year in that post for Ronnie Argueta. See him around billboards and elevators and malls, and his face is all over the place.
It is everywhere. And speaking of just what the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC mean to this community, got to give a shout out to Josh Phillips, the Switchback center back. He spent the night on the field here at Weidner Field after the win against San Antonio FC. So there was a Boy Scout troop in town, and local Boy Scout troop actually, and Josh Phillips stayed out, slept out with the Boy Scout troop. They slept under the stars here at Weidner Field. So fantastic for those young Boy Scouts, and fantastic for Josh Phillips once again getting involved in the community here in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, it's great when an organization that cares so much about the community they play in has players that do the same, because sometimes that's not the case, but the organization and the players in lockstep when it comes to being a part of this Colorado Springs community.
100%. Steve Churchy there just having a word with Josh Phillips there, trying to push Josh Phillips up. Just having a word with his center backs. No, but you're 100% correct. The Colorado Springs Switchbacks really have embraced the community, and vice versa. The city of Colorado Springs, as you said, we see Switchbacks posters everywhere downtown. You can't go too far without seeing a Switchbacks face on a bus stop somewhere, on a flyer in a restaurant or something like that. So it's been absolutely fantastic here in Colorado Springs to really see that growth here with the Switchbacks in the local community.
I did hear that they tested your face on all those posters and then
didn't work.
Switched it up.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Throw-in coming here for the Toros. Eventually. Referee telling him to go back just a little bit. Throw-in goes here to James. James picking up a yellow earlier in the first half. Sends this one forward. Taken away by McFarland. Look at the sidestep by McFarland. Sends it in with the left foot. Just bounces wide. And McFarland now emboldened, having scored the goal last week. He wanted a third goal.
It was a great step forward by Sion McFarland. Took that ball, beat two players there with one touch, strode forward, took that shot with the left foot, took a little bit of a skid off that surface, accelerated just wide there. But great play. Look at that. That's nasty from Sion McFarland. Went right past the defender looking at that shot, just whistled wide, but good play from Sion McFarland.
Switchbacks have some very talented offensive defenders. I mean, obviously their first job, second job, and third job is to defend, but when they need to get forward, they do, and they create chances that, like you saw there from Sion McFarland. Here's Escalante back on the near side of the field. Sent it in. It was headed away by McFarland. His ears must have been burning. Burt sends this one up to Argueta. Argueta trying to pass it horizontally instead of vertically, perhaps. That would have worked out a little bit better for him.
And Kevon Frater made a tremendous run down the left-hand side once again for the Switchbacks, but Ronnie Argueta just unable to find him. He was marshaled out of it there. But a good win there from Ronnie Argueta, and the Switchbacks have men over now here through Kevon Frater.
Frater on the near side, couple of defenders closing in on him, splits them, tries to take the shot with the left foot. That one was blocked, taken away by Rio Grande. Ayala gets it to James. James trying to send it to the far side, does for Kastner. Kastner now with some space. Passes it up top for Wharton. Wharton to the near side for Escalante. Escalante sends this one in, headed away by McFarland. He's had a heck of a first half, Sion McFarland has. And now Frater going in to try and win the ball from Ayala. No whistle, but Frater still down. Meanwhile, play continues with Escalante. He'll play it back to Burt. Burt now to the far side for Kastner.
He's going to be offside there, Kastner. Once again, Kastner, he should not be offside from that position. He's looking straight across the line there, has no excuses to be offside. But that was a nasty challenge that Kevon Frater took. He's having a word with the assistant referee. He's holding his shin. Luckily able to pick himself back up off the floor there. No need for the trainers to come on and have a look at Kevon Frater, but took a nasty shot there to the lower shin, did Kevon Frater.
Ball sent in here from Switchbacks FC. This one looking like it's going to go out of play.
See here, Kevon Frater going in 50-50 on that one. Just had the back of his Achilles there, stood on right in front of the assistant referee. We've got to get the fans out here to 7-1 Day, the Brewfest here in Colorado Springs at Weidner Field. That's going to be on July 19th. So fans, everybody come out, 7-1 Day, the Brewfest here at Weidner Field.
Roland and I will be there, not that that's extra motivation.
Yellow card there going for Tae-Song Kim. Very unlucky. Steve Trichu obviously doesn't like that one. It seems a bit harsh on Tae-Song Kim. Going to have to see the replay on that one. The referee came striding across to give the young South Korean there that yellow card. You can see the frustration there on Tae-Song Kim's face. That was unlucky there for the Switchback center midfielder.
Just the second yellow card of the season here for Tae-Song Kim.
Not sure how much contact there was there on Tae-Song Kim, but the referee deemed it a yellow card there, so that's a bit unlucky there on Tae-Song Kim. He's had a good first half so far.
Man, for being a defensive midfielder to only have 2 yellows really speaks to how clean he plays, as we have a Hanson Hot Springs yellow card here, the second of the game, first being drawn on Switchbacks FC. Time winding down here in the first half. No score.
It's been a good first half.
Yeah,
though.
it has.
Back and forth. Rio Grande started a little bit flat. Looked like they were going to be content to defend, but they've started to push themselves forward a little bit more as this half has gone on. I've been impressed with Rio Grande going into the halftime break, but the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC certainly have bossed the offensive play. Master Cashier looks as dangerous as ever on the left side. Aaron King, Kevon Frater both combining well in a forward position for the Switchbacks FC.
Which just speaks to, again, how talented and deep this Western Conference is. These two teams may be separated by 3 or 4 spots, but the talent, as you can see, about as evenly matched as you could hope for here on a Saturday night in the USL.
And we saw the lineup before the game for the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros before the rainstorm and Charlie Ward was missing, such an important player for the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros, and we thought, maybe the Toros would struggle here a little bit, obviously playing that game, as you said, against the Rapids or the Houston Dynamo up in Commerce City, up in Denver, but there certainly hasn't been too much of a struggle for the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros. They've had a lot of players come in, fit seamlessly well in here, as Connor Bevins is going to track this ball down. Escalante whipping that ball in, but Josh Phillips once again wins that.
Yeah, Ward signing with Houston Dynamo yesterday. And Memo Rodriguez, the other key player for Rio Grande Valley FC. No signing going on there that we know of, but he is up in Denver with Houston Dynamo taking on the Colorado Rapids.
And the referee blowing an end to it. Obviously didn't want any extra time. Just get into the halftime. You don't usually see that, but 45 minutes in the books here at Weidner Field. It's been a good performance by the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. The Toros have grown into this half. 0-0 at the half here at Weidner Field.
Yeah, fans who stayed on hand to stick around through the weather have been rewarded with an exciting first half. We're at halftime, 0-0 Switchbacks and Rio Grande Valley. Will be back in just a moment.
I'm Chris Canarum, and this is my wife,
Alexa Canarum.
We train here in Olympic City, USA.
And we love it here.
My name's Veronica Day, and I'm a national team member of Team USA Skeleton. And I love training in Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Go USA!
Welcome back to Weidner Field. We are at halftime. Switchbacks 0, Toros 0 in a very entertaining first half of play at Weidner Field. Alongside Roland Vargas, I'm Ryan Kaufman, and Roland had to wait an hour and 20 minutes for a lightning delay, but those first 45 minutes well worth the wait.
Definitely, it was a good first half. It started a little bit flat, especially from a Rio Grande Valley FC perspective. Obviously, we could see the water on the field making it difficult for both teams to string some passes together, but as that first half went on, I was very impressed. Both teams had their chances going forward, some good combination play, especially from the Switchbacks in the final third, and it was a very good first half.
Yeah, the timing of Rio Grande Valley FC a little bit off at first. It wasn't for lack of effort. It was just the timing was off. You give credit, obviously, to the back line of the Switchbacks. But once that timing got down, the Toros pushing a little bit on Moise Puati.
And you could expect that. We talked about some of those call-ups going up to the MLS team, going up to the Houston Dynamo, who are also in Colorado. So you can expect a little bit of disjointed play from the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros. But defensively, they were compact. They always had at least 4 players behind the ball. They had 2 banks of 4 at sometimes when the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC were able to have possession, you could see Rio Grande recycling, getting in behind. They were compact defensively. They were tactically sound. They just didn't put the Switchbacks and Moise Poati, the Switchbacks' #1 goalkeeper, under too much pressure. But, I mean, obviously they're going to be happy not giving up a goal here in the first half, so it was a good performance from the Toros.
And on the offensive side for Switchbacks FC, you see the pace, the excitement of that Switchbacks front line. Masta Kasher, Kevon Frater, Aaron King getting in the mix. These are some guys that really like to move up and down the field, and they created some chances in the first half.
They did, and we saw a lot of interchanging between those three. I mean, Masta Kasher stuck over to the left-hand side, cutting in on his right foot, but Aaron King leading that line, doing fantastically well once again. And Kevon Frater, we talked about his explosiveness. I mean, he's violent. That first touch that he takes is just violently explosive. He is just such an athlete, Kevon Frater. We saw him popping up all over the field for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. So I think in the second half, that's going to be a place that the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC are going to go to more. Keep pounding that ball into Kevon Frater. Get Aaron King, get Masta Kasher making those runs off of Kevon Frater and really start to attack the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros and look for that breakthrough.
And one player we'd be remiss if we didn't mention, going back to the defensive side, Sion McFarland. Josh Suggs, because of yellow card accumulation, not in, but Sion McFarland has played a tremendous game in his stead.
He has. That partnership that he has with Josh Phillips in the heart of the Switchbacks defense is immaculate. That's that's silk and that's steel. Josh Phillips is the steel. Sion McFarland is the silk. And McFarland, when he likes to go forward, there's not a lot of players that can stay with him. We saw him there. He embarrassed a couple Rio Grande Valley FC Toro midfielders there. I mean, he went right by them with one step. His shot just a little bit wide. But Sion McFarland, a dangerous player, another athletic player for the Switchbacks FC.
Yeah, elements certainly playing a factor in the first half with the wet surface, but credit to Weidner Field itself for being able to accept that kind of moisture and still be playable, and then both teams able, as the half went on, to adjust to it. And I would expect in the second half you would see virtually no effect when it comes to that weather, although we will see some moisture come up every once in a while. Well, it's been an entertaining first half, but nobody has anything to show for it. Through the first 45 minutes of play, it's Switchbacks 0, Toros 0. That doesn't mean there hasn't been highlights. We'll get to those coming up next.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records. with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
All good things must come to an end. The two top Western Conference teams experienced just that in Week 14 of the USL season. Real Monarchs made their mark in USL history with their 9th consecutive win on Monday night to start off the week where they would play 2 league games. Sebastian Velasquez played a key role in the win over Reno 1868, tallying the assist on both Monarchs' goals. But the streak would end Saturday night in Phoenix. After conceding early, Omar Bravo notched his first USL goal, finishing from inside the box after crisp passing from Matt Watson and Didier Drogba. The Real Monarchs remain unbeaten, though. In the last 10 games, they have a record of 12-1-1. Undefeated San Antonio also saw their run come to an end in front of a record crowd in Colorado Springs. 4,229 fans saw Sean McFarland get on the end of a Master-Cashier free kick right before half. That would prove to be the game winner. San Antonio now moves to 10-1-4 as both teams continue to sit atop the West. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
The 2017 Rocky Mountain State Games. Registration is now open. Competition starts July 21st. More than 40 sports, all ages, all skill levels. The 16th annual Rocky Mountain State Games, Colorado's largest sports festival. Register now at RockyMountainStateGames.org. Do you have what it takes to compete?
When you're in the market for a new home, consider the advantages of working with a reputable builder. Make sure quality and craftsmanship are part of the offer. Energy and efficiency are both must-haves. And find an area of town that's right for you. It's your home, so do your home work.
Home buying tips presented by Oakwood Homes. Call or visit oakwoodhomesco.com or to speak with a new home counselor.
Choose Penrose Cancer Center for the most pioneering care in Southern Colorado, offering the most advanced tools and expertise for over 70 years. Part of the comprehensive Centura Health Cancer Network. Learn more at penrosecancercenter.org.
On July 19th, John Eddie Productions presents the 3rd annual 719-Day Brew Fest at Weidner Field, featuring nothing but 100% local beer and spirits made right here in the 719. Get more information and buy your early bird ticket starting at only $25 at 719day.com.
It's July, and CET is full of firework programming all month long. Your Switchbacks square off in 3 key home matches, the 1st, the 8th, and the 29th. Cheer on athletes representing Colorado in the Xterra Adventures Championship Specials. And then don't miss the Season 4 premiere of Out West on July 20th. Happy Independence Day from all of us at CET.
Welcome back inside Weidner Field. We are just a few moments away from the second half beginning. A very entertaining first 45 minutes as Switchbacks FC and Rio Grande Valley FC are locked in a 0-0 deadlock. Ryan Kaufman alongside Roland Vargas. And Roland, as we get ready for the second half, we just hope that it is as exciting as the first 45 minutes were.
Definitely maybe add a little couple goals here. Weidner Field wouldn't hurt, but the first half definitely was exciting. We'll take a look at the highlights that we saw here. It was a defensive battle, but that doesn't mean there were any shortage of highlights that we had. Both goalkeepers came up with a couple of good catches, especially given the conditions, but both teams played well. Rio Grande Valley FC Toros, especially toward the second part of that first half. But look at this, Tae-Song Kim whistling past the post there, desperately unlucky for the Switchbacks midfielder. No touch needed for that one. Hand in his hands. He knows how close that one, you can tell. Look at the players, his teammates, you can tell just how close that ball was to going in.
Yeah, and Rio Grande Valley FC did get some chances, but there's that USL saves leader, Moise Puati, coming up huge again for the Switchbacks there with the punch. And now another bomb for Switchbacks FC. They've liked to take a strike from distance here in the first half.
And you can see just how late Angosha in goal there for Rio Grande Valley FC saw that ball because of Aaron King. Aaron King made a nice run in front of the goalkeeper. There's Escalante popping up on the left-hand side, playing that ball across. Moise Puati, great hands, composure. Once again, leading that defensive line from the back was the Switchbacks FC #1. No rebound given up there. Good goalkeeping as always.
Yeah, it most certainly was, and it gives us a 0-0 draw at half, and that was a great step over by Sion McFarland, who had a dynamite first half for Switchbacks FC in the stead of Josh Suggs, who is out due to yellow card accumulation. So there you saw it, the evidence that a very entertaining first half, and after Rio Grande Valley sputtered out of the gate, things really evened up as we take a look at the halftime stats.
And even on yellow cards, both players were a little bit unlucky from each team to pick up those yellow cards, but we're even. Corner kicks, Switchbacks just edging that one a little bit. They were very dangerous from those corner kicks. Free kick, slight edge for the Switchbacks, but look at the big number there. Shots, 5 shots for the Switchbacks, only 2 for the Rio Grande Valley Toros, and that's hopefully from a Switchbacks perspective what will count in the second half.
Yeah, sometimes you believe that even the law of averages kicks in at some point, and the Switchbacks may be able to find a way to get the ball in the back of the net. In the last few moments we have here before we start the second half, the biggest thing that the Switchbacks need to do in the second 45 minutes is what?
Keep it the same. Keep pressuring. Keep winning that ball back deep in the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros half. Keep Ronnie Argueta pushing his teammates forward, recycling possession there, and use that man right there. Masta Kasher, number 10. He knows how important he is, cutting in on that right foot. He's a delightful player. He's got a dangerous right foot. Switchback's going to look for Kasher, look for Kevon Frater. Those are their 2 offensive outlets, supported by Aaron King, Eddie Prue as well. Try to get that goal. You got to think if the Switchbacks are able to get the first goal, they might be able to hold on to it with how strong their defense is.
We're getting ready for the second half kickoff here. Rio Grande Valley FC kind of fooling Switchbacks FC there. They start kicking it back and forth, and then Kim's like, enough of that.
It's on the referee here. He's just waiting to blow that whistle, and he is going to restart the game here finally. We have second half action underway here at Weidner Field in Colorado Springs.
So the teams will switch ends here. We'll see Rio Grande Valley FC pushing the ball left to right across your screen to begin the second half. There's Tae-Song Kim. There are a couple of substitutions. Emilio Garcia coming in for Eric Burt. And again, with Rio Grande Valley FC, a little bit short-handed tonight due to Memo Rodriguez, who did sign with Houston Dynamo at the beginning of the season. Shout out to one of our fans watching us, and reached out on Twitter, said Memo Rodriguez signing at the beginning of the season. But you have him, and then you have another player for Rio Grande Valley just signing yesterday. So already going to the depth here for Rio Grande Valley FC is Coach Gonzalez.
And they're going to need that, obviously, up at altitude here at Weidner Field, and with these conditions making the field very heavy, even taxing the legs even more. Tae-Song Kim, nice ball through for Kevon Frater.
Yeah, Frater with it on the near side, trying to turn the corner, is able to do so, but the ball didn't come with him. It'll go out of play for a goal kick. And Emilio Garcia on the season, no goals, does have 2 assists, played over 700 minutes, so this is a guy that's relied upon as a substitute on a regular basis for the Toros.
And you got to think that might be some sort of an injury to Burt. We didn't see him carrying anything, but he did play well in the first half there, so could be just a change of formation for the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros, or maybe just picked up a little bit of a knock, but a good substitution to make at the start of the second half, just put a little bit of fresh legs here at Weidner Field.
Toros with it on the far side. Escalante bringing the ball up the field. Now has to stop, turns back around. Now plays this one to James. James to the top of the box. Now out wide. Kastner looking to send it far post. Nobody home there, at least in the box. It is struck by a Toros player, but it will go out of the box here as Kastner gets it once again to James. Toros try to reset their formation here a little bit as the ball is taken away by Eddie Prue, and now Prue sends it to midfield.
Ruben Luna, we talked about in the first half, very isolated as the lone striker for Rio Grande Valley, but Kastner and Escalante on the wings, those are two names that have stood out for the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros pushing forward. Jorginho James as well from that holding midfield possession. It's been those three players, Jorginho James, Escalante, and Kastner, really showing a lot of danger for the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros.
Sion McFarland there with a strong header out of play. Toros will throw this ball in as they've been the ones pushing the pace to begin the second half of play. Kai Green, a name we didn't really call in the first half, has it on the near side to Kastner. Ball worked back around to Green at midfield. Now Hunter. A lot of patience being displayed here by the Toros. Now they'll send it downfield. They were looking for a player making the run. That was Garcia up top, but wasn't quite able to get there. And now Switchbacks FC gives it right back. And now Kevon Frater trying to take the ball away and get around Magalhaes. Gets whistled for the foul. Free kick coming up for Rio Grande Valley.
The Toros have started the second half well on the front foot. Definitely Switchbacks haven't really been able to get on the ball. You can see there Kevon Frater going shoulder to shoulder. Perhaps a little bit unlucky there on Kevon Frater. Referee right on top of it. Good win back there by Ronnie Argueta, the Switchbacks captain. Nice touch too.
Yeah, that's who you need it from. If you come out with perhaps not the effort that you're hoping to, it's up to the guy with the armband to lift you up. And with that play, Ronnie certainly did, as Burt will throw this one into Argueta. Plays it up to Eddie Prue. Back to Burt. Now over to Masta Cashier. Cashier plays a good ball, far post. Aaron King can't quite get there. In time, anyway, he is able to gain possession.
You can see that angle that Masta Cashier found. It was brilliantly done by Cashier looking for King. Ball being whipped in there. And eventually Angosha is going to clean that one up at the second opportunity. But great play there from Masta Cashier to play that ball slicing through the defense for Aaron King. You could see just accelerate off the surface, just run a little bit too far for Aaron King, the Smoky High School graduate Aaron King. Good play on the far side.
And Connor Bevins sending that one in, looking for Frater. Wasn't able to quite link up with him. Fans, make sure you tune in to the USL's weekly show on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85, on Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 Mountain, for the latest news and information from around the league. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Now Puati sending this one downfield, taken by Rio Grande Valley FC.
It was a good win by Taylor Hunter. Stepped up there, just unable to find the pass moving forward. Ronnie Argueta marshalling that midfield line for the Switchbacks. 2 banks of 4 here behind Rio Grande Valley. Very difficult for the Toros to break them down.
Hunter will have it in the middle of the field. Passes this one up. Good job by Cashier getting back defensively. Here's Kastner. Passes it back to Kai Green. Green across the midfield stripe to Hunter. Hunter to James. James playing this one up. Now sent out wide. Toros with really good passing right now. They're linking up well, and now ball taken away. Switchbacks trying to go fast. Aaron King, though, getting taken down as he was fighting there for possession. Referee, I think, saying both guys were equally guilty there, so no whistle as play continues.
It was unlucky. Kevon Frater straight down the middle there. Hands, both feet got tangled up a little bit there with the center back. The referee, Smagoles there, getting his feet tangled with Kevon Frater. We're going to see a goal kick here for the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros, but the Switchbacks looking over the top. They're looking for that explosiveness of Kevon Frater. They've got a lot of speed. Obviously, Masta Cacher on the left-hand side, Aaron King on the right. So the Switchbacks looking for that early ball over the top of the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros defense that had pushed up.
Borja and Goisha to kick this one away for Rio Grande Valley FC. Bombs this one across midfield, headed high in the air by Ronnie Argueta. Now Eddie Prue waiting for it to come down, misses on the header. James gets it. Now this one sent further downfield. Switchbacks will have to play it, but they gain possession. Now Bevins trying to send it upfield, sends it out of play instead.
Just like the first half, been very disjointed here in the opening minutes of this 45 as we see Ziggy there, the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC mascot, drying out, saying hi to some of the fans there, making his rounds around Weidner Field, but just a bit of a disjointed half. Both teams finding it hard to string a couple passes together. Josh Phillips there looking for the run of Masta Cacher on the left-hand side. Well cut out in the end by Green.
James will pass this one to the back line as Magalis sends it to the far side. Toros exceedingly patient here to open the second half. It's actually worked pretty well for them, although they haven't quite tested Moise Poiti in this half yet. And speaking of Poiti, he has the ball at his feet. Plays it up to Josh Phillips. Now Poiti will reverse fields. McFarland with it. Toros giving him plenty of space. McFarland gets the pass back. And now back into Poiti. Certainly a different pace to this second half than we saw in the first 45 minutes.
Definitely, it's soccer being played with a tranquilizer dart here to start this second half. Switchbacks once again looking long, looking for that run. Eddie Prue just a little bit too far for Eddie Prue there, but both teams, you can see Rio Grande Valley just sitting inside their half, not really bothered when the Switchbacks defensive line is passing that ball around. They're not going to really attack until the Switchbacks move into their half, but both teams subdued, both teams just playing down the minutes here to start the second half.
Good idea there for the Switchbacks to try to link up with Eddie Prue, who is streaking down the middle of the field, but very difficult to play at a slow pace and then all of a sudden on a dime kick it into gear. But nearly found Prue in stride, but instead it will be a goal kick for Angoisha, and he'll send this one deep downfield on the far side. Both players miss with the header, or did they? Apparently not. Apparently a Switchbacks player got some part of his body on it, because Rio Grande Valley is going to throw this one in, and quickly they'll play it to the near side. Nobody home here for Rio Grande Valley FC. Fans, make sure you check out USLsoccer.com and keep up to date with all things USL. Again, USLsoccer.com. USLsoccer.com, good place to go on a weekly basis, because the Switchbacks have made a habit of either Poiti being in the saves of the week, Masta Cacher in the goal of the week. The team of the week has featured quite a few Switchbacks over the last few weeks.
And it's a website, we talked about this in the first half, just how congested, especially in the Western Conference, the standings are. It's one of those websites you have to go to USLsoccer.com almost on a daily basis after these teams have played to refresh that, see where everybody is standing. One loss vaults a team up into playoff position. One defeat knocks a team out. So it's great news for the Western Conference and the USL this year, just with how tight everything is and just how congested everything is as these teams battle for that top eighth place, which is the eighth and final playoff spot in the Western Conference.
Yeah, entering play tonight, and the one thing that's fortunate about the lightning delay is that the Switchbacks and Toros will get a full view of tonight's action. I would imagine that we'll be finishing up later than even the teams on the West Coast, as Rio Grande Valley in a hurry coming back the other way. Ball played out wide, sent in now and headed away by Jordan Burt. Still not out of the danger yet, and now Switchbacks FC take full control.
It was a delightful run forward from Escalante there. Just petered out in the end. He needed a teammate to support him. Didn't find one as Steve Tritchie gives the ball back there to Connor Bevins. Asks the Switchbacks just to speed up their passing a little bit. Eddie Prue going to look for that quick switch over to Masta Kasher.
And a little bit shy of Kasher, allowing, I think that was Kai Green there, to get his head on it. Now the ball rolling at the top of the 18, taken away by the Toros. They'll start back the other way. Kastner over to James. Now in the midfield. James back with it. Over to Wharton, to Green. Kastner back to Green.
Got to give a shout out to the crowd here at Weidner Field as well with that delay, with that rain and that sleet and that hail coming down. We have a tremendous crowd that stuck around here waiting in their cars for that storm to pass here at Weidner Field. And obviously there's a post-game fireworks show here for the Independence Day 4th of July weekend that we have here. But just a tremendous crowd here at Weidner Field given some of those conditions, as the referee's going to go across in live time. Believe he's reaching for a pocket right in front of the Rio Grande Valley bench, and it will be Kevon Frater, the young Jamaican, to pick up a yellow card. He doesn't agree with it, but he takes it in stride. He's just going to walk away there, have a little talk with Garcia. Unlucky there for Kevon Frater to pick up that yellow card right in front of the bench there. Just his standing foot there caught the player. You could see there it was his standing foot there, comes through, catches the player. Not sure who that is on the far side.
I believe it's Escalante.
It is Escalante. Okay, Escalante, number 23. He's been fantastic at the Hanson Hot Springs. Yellow card for Kevon Frater. So now 2 Switchbacks players in the book joining Taesong Kim. The Ortho Centura nod to the dock here as we see the trainer coming out there taking a look at Escalante. The Penrose Ortho Centura nod to the doctor.
Kevon Frater with his 5th yellow card this season, so a little bit more common than perhaps Taesong Kim, who picked up the other Switchbacks yellow. Escalante being helped up to his feet, and he gives a nod and tells the referee that he's going to stay in the game here. Everything is run through him when we talk about Luna playing up top, but everything has been funneled through him, so much so that a guy like Kai Green, who's on the opposite side, I don't think he even touched the ball once in the first half.
No, we haven't called Kai Green's name a lot, but Escalante's been fantastic. Kastner as well. Luna, the striker, has been very isolated, but Kastner and especially Escalante, as you said, done fantastically well.
So we'll have a free kick here for Rio Grande Valley FC.
The Escalante to whip this one in with his right foot.
Sends this one into the box, headed out by Switchbacks FC. And now a chance on the counter. Kevon Frater collides at midfield. No whistle. That level of collision usually draws a whistle, whether it might be on Frater, but you at least expect a whistle with that, as Switchbacks FC sends it downfield.
Fans of the Switchbacks, check out NikeSoccer.com. Visit NikeSoccer.com. Nike is a proud partner of the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC and a proud partner of all things soccer in the USL. NikeSoccer.com.
So there you see the head coach of Rio Grande Valley SC, Othaniel Gonzalez, goes by Junior, but we don't know each other, so I'll call him by his given name.
Yep, and he's all wrapped up in his Nike Soccer jacket over there. Temperatures plummeting here in Colorado Springs. We're going to have a fantastic fireworks show after this game. I mean, pitch black here in Colorado Springs. We can see some fireworks going off in the distance. There are some revelers here around town in Colorado's second city who are enjoying this 4th of July weekend, but we've got a lot of soccer here, at least half an hour to play at Weidner Field. We're looking for some goals, especially from a Switchback's perspective. Great work there from Frater, and there's that explosive pace, that first step. He just went right around his defender like he wasn't even there. Referee going to call a foul. It was his assistant referee that blew the foul there, right on top of it. Referee going to come across. Switchbacks have a very dangerous position here.
Yeah, Ayala taking down Kevon Frater there as we take a look. Does a great job turning the corner here. It's actually Escalante that got into him. It was Ayala that he turned on a dime and got past him. Escalante really no choice other than to slow him up. As now Mostacasher, I mean, this looks so similar to the situation where the Switchbacks scored that lone goal against San Antonio FC. Mostacasher standing over it. If I were Rio Grande Valley, I would mark Sion McFarland.
I definitely would. Mostacasher is going to drive this ball in with a ton of pace, try to put this right on top of the penalty spot.
This one sent to the middle. It's headed away by the Toros, and they'll take full control on the far side as Escalante sends this one downfield, so no harm done on the free kick. And now Switchbacks FC will regroup here.
It's a good chance for the Switchbacks FC there. We know how dangerous Mostacasher is. That position there on the far side of the field favored a left footer. Obviously, Josh Suggs not available, but Kasher takes it with the right foot. Put that one in a good area, but it was well defended by Rio Grande Valley. Nice touch there from Ronnie Argueta.
Yeah, Ronnie turns upfield, gets taken down from behind from James, and James has got to be careful. He picked up a yellow very early in this match, and I think the referee showing a little bit of restraint there.
You took the words right out of my mouth. You could see Jorginho James there, thought about having a little bit of a bite at that shoulder, thought about maybe grabbing a jersey and pulling it back there, then raised both of his hands there. Didn't want to pick up that second yellow card, so smart play there by the holding midfielder. Such an important player for the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros.
So free kick here. Kevon Frater will take it. Everyone lined up on the far side of the 18-yard box.
It's a long way out, but he's got the long Roberto Carlos run up here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a shot on goal. See if this ball takes a bounce right in front of the Rio Grande Valley FC goalkeeper. It will be a strike on goal. He was looking for that bounce, was looking for that whip, just unable to get that slice that ball just a little bit past the far side, but a good idea there from Kevon Frater given these conditions.
And Goysha sends this one downfield, and the referee says play on here as Kastner has it on the near side, dribbling to the middle of the field. He'll pass it back for James. James out wide now.
Rain starting to fall here at Weidner Field. Some of the fans ducking for cover. Once again, we see rain showers. Nothing like what we had before kickoff, but the rain definitely starting to sprinkle down, slick up the surface just a little bit more.
Quick, somebody find some wood to knock on. Here's Kastner in the corner, sends this one in, bounces off of Puati, but thankfully no one for Rio Grande Valley in the area, allows Puati to recover and cover it up. And as now he sends it downfield, as you see here, Kastner working on Jordan Burt on the near side. We don't see that a lot from Puati, usually very sure-handed.
You don't, but with that rain coming down, you can't excuse it. Ball took a little bit of a bounce right in front of him. Good play there as we get back to live time from Kevon Frater, but ball took a little bit of a bounce in front of Puati, but he was able to recover at the second bite there. Good play. Taesung Kim kicking that ball out for a throw-in that Kastner's going to come across and take, as we see the fans here covering up there with the blanket. I like it.
Just need to poke some holes in there, probably.
They'll be fine. This is Colorado. We're used to it.
Right. Give it 5 minutes. It'll be done.
Yep.
So the ball sent over to the far side of the field for Rio Grande Valley FC. As now you see Hunter with it in the middle of the field.
Fans, go to the Switchbacks FC Twitter account to vote for your Better Business Bureau Man of the Match. Tell us who you think is going to be the Better Business Bureau Man of the Match at Switchbacks FC on Twitter.
I have no pull in this, but Sion McFarland's had a pretty nice game by my estimation. As now the ball rolls free, and now some contact from behind. The referee coming in, and this is going to be bad for Switchbacks FC. It is a foul. It is a yellow card on Connor Bevins, and worse yet, it was in the box.
I don't like that one at all. Connor Bevins going shoulder to shoulder. There was number 22, Connor Bevins. He made a great recovery run. Him and Phillips there sandwiched out the player as he came through the middle there. Connor Bevins comes out of your screen, comes out of nowhere there, goes shoulder to shoulder. Player feels that, goes down in a heap of bricks. Wasn't even asking the referee for a penalty. Referee comes in, blows for the penalty kick. Yellow card to Connor Bevins. Bevins. That's very unlucky on the Switchbacks left back tonight. The Hansing Hot Springs yellow card, and it will be a penalty kick for the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros, and now is the time for Moise Poati to stand big.
Yeah, he leads the USL in saves. The next one that he makes, if it's on this penalty kick rather, will be the biggest one, as we have an Associates in Dental Care penalty kick. And taking this one will be Ruben Luna. He has 2 goals on the season. Moise Poati trying to read Luna on which way he's going to go. Referee blows the whistle. Here comes Luna. He'll stutter step and put it in the back of the net. Rio Grande Valley FC is going to take the 1-0 advantage here in the 67th minute.
Well played penalty kick there by Ruben Luna. Nothing that Moise Poati and the Switchbacks goal could do about that one. You saw that stutter step. The rule is that the player is not allowed to come to a full stop with his forward momentum. I'm not sure if he did or not, but Ruben Luna, calm, coolness personified, just tucked that one into the far side of the net. 1-0 Rio Grande Valley FC Toros, 67th minute.
Luna with his 3rd goal of the campaign, and you see there Connor Bevins upset that he got called for that yellow, and more importantly that penalty kick. As you see here, just the stutter step for a moment got Poati to jump to the left, and that was all Luna needed to tuck it in the other way.
Well, Poati showed where he was going. Ruben Luna kept his composure there, just slotted that one in, just passed it into the net. It was a very calmly taken penalty kick there by Luna, who's been out of this game, very isolated so far in this game, but when his number was called, he stepped up, he put that one away. But there's plenty of time here at Weidner Field for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks to not only get an equalizer, but to get a winner. They've really got to turn the screw. We might see some substitutions. There's some substitutes warming up furiously on the far side of the field for head coach Steve Tucciu and the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, so it's game on now at Weidner Field.
And you could see that urgency and that pace here from Switchbacks FC as Kevon Frater lost it for a moment. May have been actually trying to get that one to Jordan Burt, as a Toros player tried to bicycle kick that one out of the box, and there was a whistle prior to that. You know, how many times have we seen this season roll in? If you're a Switchbacks fan and you're looking for hope that they can at least equalize in this game, you have plenty of it. Reno, there's been multiple times where the Switchbacks have gotten late goals. In fact, there was one stretch where they had a couple of back-to-back goals in the last minute of the game. So this is a team that's suddenly this season found a way to get those late equalizers.
We know the Switchbacks never quit, and we know just about these conditions. I mean, it really wears on these teams coming in here to play at 6,500 feet plus. As we start to get into that 70th, 80th, 90th minute sometimes, as you said, here at Weidner Field, I mean, teams do get tired. They let their guard down, and the Switchbacks, they're used to training up here. I mean, they're used to training up at the Air Force Academy. That's another 1,000 feet and change, even higher than Weidner Field here. So the Switchbacks certainly used to the altitude, certainly used to these conditions here at Weidner Field, and I wouldn't put past the Switchbacks given what we've seen in the first 70th minute for the Switchbacks to get on the board.
If you can add altitude with rain and maybe some temperatures that aren't exactly warm, I think those are 3 things that Rio Grande Valley FC doesn't really encounter on a regular basis playing down in Texas.
Absolutely, and of course this disjointed lineup from the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros had a couple of their, wouldn't say best players, but some of their most important players taken out of this lineup and pushed up to the MLS levels. You see Jordan Burt making a nice run from his left back position.
Yeah, if only the Houston Dynamo would have called up Ruben Luna tonight, as he converts on the PK. And now the ball rolling to the corner. A Toros player went down. Referee, no whistle.
I'm not sure how that's any different from the penalty kick that the referee called, except that it wasn't in the box. I mean, there are 2 players there sprinting after the ball. Sion McFarland goes shoulder to shoulder. One player goes flying. Referee swallows his whistle, but he didn't do that when it was in the box. So unfortunate once again for the Switchbacks to have given up that penalty kick there. But we're going to see a first substitution of the game here on the far side for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. And it will be Shane Malcolm making his return. He's been dealing with a little bit of an injury, but Aaron King has once again put in a great shift up front for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. He's going to come off, and the speed and the power and the aggressiveness of Shane Malcolm. Now to have Kevon Frater on one side, Shane Malcolm on the other side, that's a lot for a tiring team at altitude to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. as we have our Chapel Hills Mall substitution, first one of the game for Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. And just seeing Shane Malcolm available on the team sheet was surprising enough. He was listed as doubtful coming into this match. He got stepped on a couple of weeks ago and had to get stitches. And I spoke with Steve Treachu early in the week, and he was not positive about the chances of Shane Malcolm playing in this game, and maybe didn't even want to use him, but has been forced here to get more speed in there as the Switchbacks look to try and equalize this game.
Well, you said the word, and it's speed. Shane Malcolm certainly has that in reserve. Shane Malcolm, one of the fastest players in the USL, a tremendously powerful player for the Switchbacks FC to bring on. You talked about that. He did get that cleat on top of his foot there, a couple stitches in it, was out for a little bit, but he's been training, he's been practicing a little bit, and he certainly has the legs for 20 minutes and change here at Weidner Field.
Kevon Frater was waiting for that ball, trying to hook it and turn the corner to no avail there as Rio Grande Valley FC sends it back the other way. You have to be careful. This is a good counter-attacking team, especially with Escalante there on the far side. Don't want to bring too many numbers up and leave yourself vulnerable on the back end to perhaps give up a second goal. Fans, be sure to get your tickets to the next Switchbacks home match Saturday, July 8th against Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2. The first 500 fans in attendance will receive the fourth piece of the puzzle to the poster series courtesy of Neaters. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. Tickets are available on switchbacksfc.com and the Switchbacks Facebook page.
Can't tell you how cool those posters are. Just individually, those posters are awesome, but the fact you get to put them all together like a Transformer situation at the end and make one giant poster, I mean, that's great.
Yeah, the artwork on those posters is just fantastic as the Switchbacks send in a shot and it goes wide.
Ronnie Argueta there, the captain there, looking for the top corner with his right foot. Just sliced it a little bit. Difficult conditions. Think it might have taken a little bit of a bobble right in front of Argueta. The Switchbacks just need to regroup. I like that substitution. Shane Malcolm's gone into the right-hand side. It's going to be Kevon Frater leading the line down the center with Mostakachier on his favored left flank.
Ball sent downfield here from Angoisha. Switchbacks FC able to take control. They'll get it to Poiti to direct traffic here. Poiti sends it to the near side, bounces once, headed by Mostakachier. Cashier with some green in front of him, which is a recipe for success if you're Switchbacks FC. Now Eddie Prue. Prue takes a shot and a save by Angoisha.
What a save there by Angoisha. Can't believe he held on to that one. That ball had some real venom on it from Eddie Prue. He had men out wide. He used those overlapping runs to draw the defenders out, gave him the space to take that shot. It was a wicked drive from Eddie Prue. Unlucky there. Great save from Angoisha. Good goalkeeping by the RGVFC Toros #1. Good goalkeeping there. But look at that from Eddie Prue. Gets his knee right on top of it. Blasts that ball forward. That's got upper 90 written all over it, but good save.
Yeah, we've seen Sion McFarland. We've seen Eddie Prue, Mostakachier. A handful of guys taking strikes from distance. They have not been able to figure out Angoisha just yet. As now Shane Malcolm takes possession of the ball, and you can see that speed. Injury or no injury, that dude can fly as Rio Grande Valley FC will take control of it. And now we have a whistle well behind the play.
Referee, let's let the advantage continue there. Shane Malcolm was pulled back. He let the advantage go. He's going to bring out the yellow card here as the referee, and he is going to produce that yellow card on the far side of the field. But devastating speed there from Shane Malcolm, as you talked about. I mean, he's just running past people. He's just kicking the ball to himself, running it down. Brilliant speed there once again from Shane Malcolm, the substitute.
It'll be Ivan Magalis who will get the yellow card here. We'll have a substitution as well for Rio Grande Valley FC.
Victor Garza is going to come in. Not sure who he's going to replace, but just another throw of the dice here by Rio Grande Valley FC as they look to hold on to this lead at Weidner Field.
And for Magalis, that will be his first yellow card of the season. And are they going to let the, yeah, they'll have the substitution happen. So Escalante will come out. Garza will come in here late in the game.
Just to add a little bit of defense there. Escalante, tremendous shift offensively going forward. Garza here, Chapel Hill Mall substitution as we see there. Shane Malcolm, goodbye. You want to come tackle me? I'm just going to run right past you. And it was off the ball there. There's a referee saw that foul there. So a bit of a strange decision there, but the referee brings out the yellow card, bring the ball back.
And that one nearly went out for a corner, and it will instead be out for a throw-in. It does look like the right decision, but it was awfully close. As again, Mogulis picking up the Hanson Hot Springs yellow card. And now will be a throw-in on the near side of the field. Switchbacks FC trying to get something going late in this one. Down 1-0. Rio Grande Valley FC able to take control. Now taken away by Bevins. Man, would he like to atone for the PK he conceded. And now a foul is called on Rio Grande Valley FC. Not a bad spot to have it if you're Switchbacks FC.
No, this Connor Bevins there. Good play on the left-hand side. Player coming in, Connor Bevins turns that body. Referee right on top of it. It's Garcia there being whistled for the foul. No yellow card there from the referee. Brings out the magic spray, and Mastakacher so dangerous from these left-hand sides with his right foot. Going to whip this ball in, try to put the goalkeeper under a ton of pressure, make the goalkeeper make a decision. Switchbacks have a lot of players forward. Watch out for Josh Phillips lurking at the back post.
Mastakacher steps over this one. Two-person wall put up by the Toros. Cashier looking to find his mark. Switchbacks need a goal to equalize. Here comes Cashier, sends it in, low line drive. It was deflected out, but by whom? And it will be out off of Rio Grande Valley FC. So now we'll trade a free kick for a corner kick. As fans, make sure you follow Switchbacks FC on Twitter for the very latest club news, updates, and happenings. And their Twitter handle, easy enough, Switchbacks FC. And now the ball is still in the box and then finally cleared out after our Wells Fargo corner kick here. Ball rolling out of play. Moise Poiti well into the play here. He's going to do the throw-in.
Can't remember the last time I saw a goalkeeper take a throw in. Moise Poiti playing the sweeper keeper here. You see just how desperate the Switchbacks are to get that equalizer as early as possible, so they have enough time left in this game to get that winning goal. But the Switchbacks, Moise Poiti leading the Switchbacks forward, pushing as far as they can, and we're going to see another substitution on the far side of the field. It's going to be the most interesting man in the world, Jack Jones, the striker for the Switchbacks FC, who's going to be coming on at the next break of play.
Jack Jones has had more TV time than President Trump lately. He's become a real hit here in Colorado Springs.
Former investment banker. He's worked on Wall Street. He owns a winery. He's a professional soccer player. I mean, Jack Jones is absolutely everywhere.
Great hair.
Fantastic hair. Hair band.
You know.
Yep. Brilliant.
Ball goes out of play here, and
he's a fan favorite, and he's a teammate favorite too. There's Jack Jones on the far side of the field, number 77. He's going to be coming in here to replace Eddie Prue. Eddie Prue, good shift once again for the Switchbacks FC. He had that dangerous whipping shot there that was well saved by the Rio Grande Valley FC Toro. So unlucky for Eddie Prue to see the end of his night. He's done fantastically well, but the most interesting man in the world, Jack Jones, is on for the last 12 minutes and change.
Another Chapel Hills Mall substitution here for Switchbacks FC. That is Jack Jones, not retro Alexi Lawless. You like the reference?
I see what you did there.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Foul going against Jones, and we'll have a free kick here for Rio Grande Valley FC. As we take a look now at the foul from Jack Jones, and got into
Wharton. It was.
Yeah, it was Todd Wharton.
Yeah, went down a little bit easily there, did Wharton, under the pressure of Jack Jones. But Jack Jones going to go in. Going to be a two-man striking force for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, right next to Kevon Frater. He's going to push Shane Malcolm out onto the right. Mastakacher on the left. Two-man midfield for the Switchbacks, just Ronnie Argueta and Taesung Kim.
Toros with it on the far side. And now a good slide tackle there by Switchbacks FC. Starts them back the other way.
Was a brilliant tackle from Ronnie Argueta, who's going to switch this ball, looking for that long ball over to Mastakacher, just unable to find him.
Fans, make sure you get out here on 719 Day. Of course, that is July 19th. It's the 719 Day Brew Fest right here at Weidner Field. The smash hit of the summer returns on July 19th. Which, geez, is in 18 days. Sometimes I forget that the calendar turned to July. And now some physicality in the corner here, and is that Kevon Frater? It is.
It is. It was Kai Green coming in there. It was a bit unnecessary from Green. Rio Grande Valley FC Toros. I mean, Kevon Frater was holding that ball up. There was no need for Green to come in there like gangbusters and just blast Kevon Frater to the ground there and then step on him while he was on the ground. Just add a little bit of injury to the insult there, if you were. But look at this from Kevon Frater. Green comes in out of nowhere. Here, have some of that. I'll give my knee right into the center of your chest while you're on the ground. Referee on top of it blows the foul. Nasty shot there for Kevon Frater to take. But once again, Mostakacher right in front of the Wells Fargo corner kick. He's going to whip this free kick in. Jack Jones obviously now in the box as well.
Now Rio Grande Valley FC giving the Switchbacks a chance here. Header just a bit wide. I think that was Josh Phillips who got his head on the Wells Fargo corner kick.
It was Josh Phillips, mouth guard and all. Phillips coming forward there from the far side. He's so dangerous in the air as Josh Phillips. He rises majestically to meet this one, puts it just inches wide. Josh Phillips maybe put off by his teammate there, Sion McFarland, right in front of him. There were gangbusters for the Switchbacks going for that ball, but desperately unlucky for Josh Phillips. He's so dangerous from those offensive set pieces.
Phillips with the mouth guard after he had a couple of chiclets elbowed out of his mouth a couple of weeks ago.
Keeping the dentist in Colorado Springs busy, Josh Phillips. Here he is on the ball now. Looking for Mostakacher, going to find him. Nice touch there for Mostakacher. Good feet. Great feet. Oh, delightful.
Cashier getting around Kastner. Cashier trying to force it through to Kim, actually winds back up with it, and now taken away by Rio Grande Valley FC. That's a good job by Todd Wharton to get in the middle and take that ball away.
That was superb play from Mostakacher. Such quick feet, great burst of speed there as we see Cashier coming across. But Kastner there going past him. But great play there offensively from Mostakacher. Once again, he's been such an important outlet for the Switchbacks going forward.
And now Switchbacks FC back on it. Ronnie Argueta, the captain, see if he can get something going here in the last few minutes of this game. Now Jordan Burt with it. Burt trying to get around a defender. He does. He'll flip this one in, and now it winds up going out towards the middle of the field. Connor Bevins couldn't handle it. Rio Grande Valley FC again taking possession.
Ball just took a nasty bounce right in front of right in front of Connor Bevins there. Tae-Song Kim going to restart this one. Just needs some more movement. It's a little bit static for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. You can see Josh Phillips, Tae-Song Kim looking for that movement. It's Jack Jones now making a good run. Shane Malcolm as well.
And here's Kevon Frater with it on the near side. Kevon with 3 white shirts around him, and it's Kastner who takes it away, but he passes it too far out of the reach of his intended receiver. Ball played out wide to the far side. McFarland, he'll send this one in. Tapped away by the Toros again. Here's Argueta. Switchback. Over to Kim. Sorry.
No, my apologies. Switchbacks really turning the screw here offensively. Look how deep Rio Grande Valley FC Toros are dropping here. They're just inviting all of this pressure, just wave after wave of pressure here on from the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Good ball from Connor Bevins.
Bevins sends it to the far side, headed away by Rio Grande Valley FC, and now a stoppage in play. Do we have a foul in that scrum? I guess so.
I believe the assistant referee may have called for an offside. I'm not sure. We're going to see a double substitution on the far side of the field. Pascal Abusi's going to be ready to come on for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Before that, though, we are going to see a substitution from the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros.
Yeah, Robbie Sagal will come into the game. No goals, no assists, and it will be Kastner coming out of the game for Rio Grande Valley FC. And as Roland said, Bevins will come out. Pascal Abusi will come into the game.
So Pascal Abusi, you can see there holding up 3 fingers. Going to be a 3-man defensive line now for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Tae-Song Kim going to go into left back. Josh Phillips in the center. Pascal Abusi on the right. That's going to push more men forward for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Most notably, Ronnie Argueta, who's going to do everything he can to try to restart these attacks.
So a dual Chapel Hills Mall substitution here for either side late in this match.
And both of the most impressive players, at least in my book, for the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros, Escalante and Kastner, now both removed out of this game.
Header into the box. Cashier just couldn't quite get control. And now the Toros will bring it out to the near side. Kim tried to take it away. Now sent through. Abusi right into the game, able to take the ball away. Now over to Argueta.
And here's Jordan Burt, whose business it is to get forward on that right wing. You can see there, look at that, the ball just stops there in the mud pile there. But Jordan Burt is going to do everything he can to get down that right-hand side, support Shane Malcolm going forward. Switchbacks basically now just a three-man defense now with Josh Phillips, Taesong Kim, Pascal Abusi.
Switchbacks need another late goal, and they don't quite get it there as that one just curled, or probably didn't curl enough, to be honest. Ends up going wide on the near side, and it will go out for a goal kick.
Sion McFarland with his left foot. He's been one of the defenders who's been sacrificed. He's been pushed forward. We talked about Sion McFarland's prowess going forward, and now he is part of the attack now for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC as they've gone to just a three-man defense for the rest of this game.
Fans, make sure you vote on, there's Jack Quinn's fan of the game.
Got some Air Force Academy love there in the crowd. There are fans of the game. Jack Quinn sponsoring that there. Great turnout here at Weidner Field given the conditions. Just appalling weather here right before kickoff as both teams were going through their warm-ups here. Everybody was called off for the lightning delay. Rain, sleet, hail came down, but what a tremendous crowd it is here waiting for the fireworks after this match.
So Argueta gets this one up to Jones. He gets stripped. And now back the other way come the Toros. Just a few minutes left in this one. Switchbacks FC trying to get a result to follow up that big win last week against San Antonio FC. And while there is still time, this has kind of been the MO for Switchbacks FC. You rise to the occasion, but sometimes they've struggled to beat the teams that are at least right near them in the standings, or in this case, the ones they're ahead of. As now there's a foul at midfield going against Rio Grande Valley FC.
Referee waited for the advantage. It's good refereeing there. He waited for the advantage, saw there was none for the Switchbacks, then blew it back for the foul. But the Switchbacks, they really dominated the early parts of this game. Rio Grande Valley really sat in, soaked up all that pressure from the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, and then started to attack. Maybe got a lucky goal in that penalty call. That's for the fans to decide. But now it's up to the Switchbacks FC to get that equalizer here as we take ever closer to the end of this match.
Yeah, Kim didn't quite get the spin on it that he hoped, but it ends up going to a teammate who sends it into the box. Rio Grande Valley FC able to take it away, and they'll send it downfield. And of course, our moment of the match here coming up in just a minute. I think you can guess what it is so far, as this one headed on top of the goal. And here we take a look at our moment in the match. Connor Bevins trying to track down the player from behind, gets the foul, and then leads to the penalty kick that right now is the difference.
So unlucky there on Connor Bevins, shoulder to shoulder. You can see the disappointment there on his face. He knows what happened. He knows it was shoulder to shoulder. Our Penrose St. Francis Health Services moment of the match there, the foul that led to the penalty kick. As we see here, the accelerated Wealth corner kick on the far side of the field. Accelerated Wealth corner that Masta Kasher is going to whip in with his right foot. Getting awfully late now for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC to nab that equalizer.
Kasher has had so many set pieces in this game. It's just surprising that he hasn't found a way to convert on one. Maybe this is the one. Sends it in, headed by the Toros, still in play here. And now the Switchbacks trying to get a shot. It was blocked. Goes out to Argueta. Switchbacks will reset. Now a shot in. That one skips just wide.
Sion McFarland from his new midfield position there, looking for that far post. It was good play from Ronnie Argueta to bring that ball down, feed it perfectly into the path of Sion McFarland. Took a nice little touch there with his right foot. He's looking for that far corner. Unlucky. Goalkeeper gives it a courtesy dive, but just wide there from Sion McFarland.
Most of the shots taken by Switchbacks FC tonight have been from distance, and that's something that they're good at, but not enough in action going on in the box tonight for Colorado Springs.
And it just speaks to how well the defense of the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros have been. A lot of players behind the ball, forcing the Colorado Springs Switchbacks into some of those longer drives.
Rio Grande Valley with possession. They pass it across midfield, and now the ball skips away. Abusi gets it up to his fellow Cameroonian Moise Pouati. Puati sends this one downfield looking for Mostacasher. Pretty good ball, but once again, Angoisha comes out of his goal to play it, and he's able to fall on it here with just a precious few moments remaining in this match.
Good goalkeeping there from the goalkeeper wearing the warm-up jersey with no number on the back. It was good goalkeeping. That ball anything could have happened to that ball skidding off of the surface. Mostacasher, delightful run in behind there. Just a long pump forward. Mostacasher making that run in behind there, but good goalkeeping there from the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros #1.
Yeah, the goalie shirts tonight for Rio Grande Valley FC were not brought on the trip, but they are tucked safely back in Texas. 2 minutes of added time here. So we talked about this. Shane Malcolm's goal against Reno immediately comes to mind when you talk about stoppage time goals. That's actually the latest goal in Switchbacks, albeit young history, but this team will not let this one go until the final whistle blows.
They certainly won't know, the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, if they can get the ball back. You can see just how much time the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros are running down here. Referee's holding his watch. He's well aware of the time-wasting tactics happening right in front of the Toros bench.
So here's the throw-in for Rio Grande Valley FC. Ronnie Argueta has it. Plays it back to Abusi. Over to Puati. Puati will send this one downfield. And this one kicked away by Rio Grande Valley FC. Hops over the head of Jones and out of play. Jones will throw this one in. Still time for Switchbacks FC to try and salvage a point on this Saturday night.
They got plenty of time. I like this attack. Good ball in from Josh Phillips.
It's headed away by the Toros, and this one will be kept in play by Sion McFarland. McFarland trying to turn the corner, looking for a cross. It's tapped away. This should be a corner. No, they'll say it's a goal kick, and Sion McFarland throwing up his hands, pleading his case, but those never go the way that you planned, and hope that the referee would change his mind.
Very unlucky there on Sion McFarland. It was good move on the far side of the field, beats his defender, all ends up, the defender's able to play that ball off of him for the goal kick. Unlucky there for the Switchbacks defender, who's been pushed up as an auxiliary attacker here at the end of this match. Referee looking at his watch, but he's still going to give the Switchbacks one more opportunity here with this time wasting, and no, he is not. He's going to blow the whistle. That's the end of the game. The Rio Grande Valley FC Toros have defeated the Colorado Springs Switchbacks by a single goal to nil on a controversial penalty here at Weidner Field.
Yeah, the fourth time these two clubs have met up, the fourth time that the Toros have come away victorious, and at some point you start talking about teams having your number, and it's been all Toros in this series for the last couple of seasons, but a really good game for Switchbacks FC. That penalty, as you said, just made the difference tonight, and that man certainly has nothing to hang his head about. Moise Puati was fantastic tonight. Mostacasher had a lot of set pieces. Any other night, Mosta at least converts one of those, and it just wasn't in the cards tonight.
No, the Switchbacks played well offensively. They had a lot going forward, maybe just a little bit flat in that final third. Didn't put the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros goalkeeper under enough pressure, but a lot of credit has to go to the defense of the visitors. They were solid. They had a lot of men behind the ball. They were tactically organized, and they marked the most dangerously offensive players for the Switchbacks. Kevon Frater, Shane Malcolm obviously came on. Those players were marked out of the game. Mostacasher had a good performance, but it was difficult for him to get on the ball. Every time he got on the ball, there were Rio Grande Valley shirts all around him. It was a good team defensive performance by the Toros.
A penalty kick awarded in the 67th minute, converted by the Toros as they take this one at Weidner Field by a final of 1-0. We still have plenty more on tap for you, so stay tuned. The post-game show is next.
We made it!
It's July, and CET is full of firework programming all month long. Your Switchbacks square off in 3 key home matches, the 1st, the 8th, and the 29th. Cheer on athletes representing Colorado in the Xterra Adventures Championship Specials. And then don't miss the Season 4 premiere of Out West on July 20th. Happy Independence Day from all of us at CET.
Hi guys, I'm Carrie Wilbanks, your host for Out West. We have a brand new season premiering July 20th right here on CET, and one of the many incredibly cool things we feature is right here at Snowbahn, an indoor ski and snowboard experience. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to Weidner Field, where the Rio Grande Valley Toros still have not lost to Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. A penalty kick awarded in the 67th minute, converted by Ruben Luna, his 3rd goal of the season, and that was the difference here tonight. A big victory for Rio Grande Valley FC, a tough loss for Switchbacks FC coming up after such a big win last week against San Antonio FC, but all the credit in the world goes to Rio Grande Valley FC. They were a little bit short-handed tonight. Their parent club, Houston Dynamo, up the road in Denver, took some of their players, but they still had plenty of talent on the field, and they were able to get it done tonight. One guy that played exceedingly well, even in a losing effort, was Moise Pawadi. Roland has got him down on the field, and we'll go to him in just a moment. With the victory, you have Rio Grande Valley FC into the playoff picture. They now have 20 points and a virtual tie for 7th with Seattle Sounders FC 2. With the loss, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC will just have to hope that Reno and Seattle didn't do and won't do anything good this weekend. They hang at 23 points as their record now goes to 6-6-5, all even across the board for Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. For Rio Grande Valley FC, this is just their 2nd win on the road. As I mentioned, Moise Pawadi played brilliantly tonight. It was just that one PK that scooted past him that made the difference tonight, and Roland Vargas is down on the field with Pawadi.
Moise, difficult loss. Tell me what you saw in that penalty kick that went against you guys.
Yeah, he kicked very well. But for me, it's not a penalty. But the referee got to make a decision. So we need to accept that. It was a very good game, but we didn't score. That's why when we didn't score, normally we must concede a goal. That's why. So it's normal.
You've got a long week of practice now in Colorado Springs and to bounce back. How do you guys look to get 3 points here next week?
Next week we got to show up. We got to show up. We need that victory. We need it. So we got to do everything to correct all the mistakes we did today. So we're gonna make it the next week.
Thank you, my friend. Stay healthy, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks.
Back to the booth.
Thank you, Roland, and thank you, Moise Pawadi, our Better Business Bureau man of the match. And you heard it straight from Moise. This team has got to get refocused and get ready. A very difficult Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 team coming into town in 1 week's time. As you see the players down on the field, still making time to sign autographs for a hearty crowd. There was an hour and 20-minute lightning delay before we got going, and there were still plenty of Switchbacks fans on hand to watch this one. Let's tell the story of this one through our statistics, and as you see there, a lot of things, a lot of categories being won by the Switchbacks other than that most important one at the top, score.
Difficult for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. We just heard there from Moise Pawadi. He didn't think it was a penalty kick. I don't think either of us thought it was a penalty kick, but Difficult loss for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, and as, again, Poati said, they just need to rebound. They got a long week of practice here in Colorado Springs. They're going to use that. They're going to rebound. They're going to come out tough next week against the Whitecaps, too.
Right, and I just spoke before you spoke to Poati about the standings, and you look at the standings. Rio Grande Valley FC really needed this one in terms of the standings, and you saw a team that was emotionally charged and ready to take on Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC and move back into the playoff hunt here as we take a look at the highlights from this game. It was very entertaining, not a lot of scoring, but there was a lot of action going on here, especially in the second half here, as you see the fouls being called in this game became more frequent as the game went on here. That was Escalante who went down. Kevon Frater gets the yellow card. Obviously, he thinks that Escalante is putting on a little bit of a performance. And here's the penalty kick off of the Connor Bevins foul. It was Ruben Luna putting this one in past Moise Poati to give Rio Grande Valley FC a lead that they would never relinquish as they come out with the 1-0 victory. And it just, if Poati comes up with the save there, it's the save of the decade. It's just so difficult for the goalkeepers to match anything when it comes to these penalty kicks. And there, Luna obviously very good at taking him. That stutter step makes him bite one way, and he goes back the other way for the goal. So a lot of positives tonight, Roland. Certainly the goals, they got to come more.
They do. The Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC just have to push that impetus going forward a little bit more. Some of the best players for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC were just marked out of the game. There was nothing they could do. There were so many players around them. But what about the return of Shane Malcolm? We could see him next week. Such an important offensive player. The Switchbacks have reason to look forward and be happy and be confident looking forward.
And they'll be comfortable all week because they will be here in Colorado Springs. Their third of 3 straight home matches coming up a week from tonight. Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 coming into Weidner Field. That's going to do it for tonight. Thanks to our producers back in the truck. Thank you to Roland Vargas. Thank you to all of you for listening. Rio Grande Valley Toros come on the road, get a big 3 points. 1-0 is the final score. We'll talk to you very soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.